It's like nowhere, it was like in the middle of nowhere. And when we moved up here, it was like, college town, and the kids were all like, I don't know, like the sons and daughters of like professors and shit. And yeah, it was a weird situation to get into. But finally, when I started, kind of felt like I started making friends on my street. We lived over your your feet. You got to make sure your foot doesn't go above the front of the board, so you can then like balance it out. It's all about popping it and then balancing it out. And that's what those ollie bolts were. We call them death bolts. They'd rip up my shoes, but man, I could ollie. I could ollie like 4 feet off the ground. Boom! Like if I wanted to. Well, maybe that's too much. I don't know, 3.5. I don't know. I don't know how far I could do it. But we would do like these things where we'd stack up boards and see how many boards. Okay, so I was with Brian Reed, and Brian had that hat. Remember the blue hat he used to wear?
I remember you two, like, you traded hats or something.
Yeah. So he had a hat, and he had this crazy hair, right? And he wanted the hair to go poof out in the front like this. So he had the hat. He wanted to wear the hat, but he wanted only the hair to come out in front. So he wore this hat, and the hat, it was some Navy hat or something. It was like just like some interesting. I don't even know. It was the most generic hat I've ever seen in my life, but I loved it. It was blue. It's like blue navy, and I think it was like a navy hat or something. But then he had folded the back of it because it didn't have a clasp or anything. It was just like one size. I don't know where he got it, but then he kind of like folded it underneath and put it so it fit him almost like a yarmulke or something, like this, right? And so his hair go out in the front like this, and he was wearing that hat that day. And we were down. What we were doing is we'd take our boards and we'd go bomb the hill down Richards, and then hit that. Hit the side, just get as much momentum as we possibly could, and hit the side of that thing and do a wall ride. Just ride that wall as far as we could. Just boom, oof, like this. And we would maybe land half of them or something, maybe less. I don't know, because it was so crazy. We were going so fast and just hit that wall just to see how far we could go.
Both sides had downhill going.
Yeah, both sides. And you had to be careful because kids or people on bikes would go through there, and you'd smash into them like really hard, and it was just a bad situation. We used a lot more time than once. I think I remember picking up my board and running away because we didn't. Some guy was going to beat us up because we like hit him in his bike or something. Like one time, I remember I hit someone's bike and I wrecked their, which I was really sorry about, but I wrecked their tire or something or their wheel. But I was there one day with Brian, and I was like, well, I'm going to hit this thing really hard. And right at the same time as I was kind of going down there, riding down the bottom of the hill, one of the reporters from the Davis Enterprise was coming through. I think she was like a photographer or something. She worked for the Davis Enterprise. And she's like, do you guys mind if I take your picture? And Brian were like, yeah, cool, And so she took a bunch of pictures of us, and I was like, it's going to be the coolest picture ever. Want to get as high as I possibly can. So she took a bunch of shots of us hitting that wall, at the perfect angles, whoosh, right in the center of the wall. I mean, I think we were up like this high or something like that, and yeah, that picture ended up on the front page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have that?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
I have it. I'll get you a scan of it.
Okay.
I wish I had the actual physical front page. I have a picture cut out from it, but it's the picture that she took.
Okay. Where did you buy skateboards? Did you get any certain skate shops there in town?
A lot of the early skateboards were just from like friends and stuff. But where did I buy my skateboards in town? Here downtown. Bought them downtown somewhere. Where was the skate shops?
There was, what was it? Mountain Sports.
Mountain Sports.
We had Pet Cetera that had the complete decks or something. And B&L sold boards, and Davis Sports Shop sold some boards.
Davis Sports Shop, yeah.
And later there was Brett for Sports.
Brett for Sports.
You remember them?
Yeah,
they would have like Santa Cruz or something there.
Yeah, I don't. Where did I get the Sam Cunningham I bought? I chose all the pieces. I remember that was the first. I think that was the first board. I got that for Christmas. That was the first board my parents were like, well, what kind of wheels do you want? What kind of bearings do you want? Because they had learned at that point that all of these things were super important.
Right.
And I'd educated them. Well, I need the right bearings. I need to get the independent trucks, and I need to get my, whatever, right? And so at that time, I remember, because I've been riding around on these really small wheels at that time, remember the big wheels were coming in.
Right.
They're like really narrow, really big. And I think, were they Santa Cruz?
Yeah,
wheels?
the speed wheels.
Speed wheels.
Yeah.
And we're using German bearings.
That's right. They had Swiss bearings, or they had the German bearings. I forget what they were called. SS. Yeah, I forget.
Something
what
like
they were.
that. Oh no, I used Swiss bearings. That's what it was. But there were German bearings. I remember the Swiss were the best. Swiss bearings. So we got Swiss bearings, and I got those. Got those big wheels.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was either Powell wheels or Santa Cruz wheels.
They were Santa Cruz.
That most people were into.
They were Santa Cruz
Spitfire
wheels.
hadn't come along. At that point.
No.
They weren't around.
And I remember people were like, get Thunder trucks. But the problem I had with Thunder trucks is that I just couldn't grind with them great. They would just like slow me down, and I wanted to have these long grinds, right? So the independents were just much better for that. And then, fly down the hallway super fast, and then we would hit the little. There's like these little curbs that go off the sides of each one of those stairs that would go down into the curves. So the quad was lower than the rest of the high school, and we were gonna go. I remember Brian said, let's go all the way over trash can lids, because they have those round trash can lids. We'd take them off the trash cans and put them on the ground and go, ride and ollie over them. Well, let's do that. Okay. I'm going to do this one more slide. Just one more time. Famous last words. And I hit that thing. Went super fast. I hit that thing. And the board slid out from under me. And I had my arm, I think it was behind my back, like this. And I was kind of like doing this. And I hit that thing, and I fell backwards onto the curb. Curb is like that high off the ground or something. And my body weight hit here, and the curb was right there, and it busted my arm in half.
Oh, man.
And you can see the scar right there. There's the scar.
Jeez.
And there's another scar right there still. And I was in and out of casts and surgery for about 9 months. I had surgery twice. And I had a 50% chance of losing my arm.
Ugh.
Yeah, so I'm lucky I have it, because I'm a guitar player. So glad I have it, and an artist, and I need to use it. So had a 50% chance of losing my arm. It grew back like this, and so the doctors had to re-break the bone, put it back together, and then put plates on it.
Oh man!
And I remember when I busted it, Brian was like, "What happened? What happened?" And later he said it sounded like 2 sticks breaking, crunch. It sounded like two. He sounded like 2 sticks. Somebody had taken 2 sticks and broken them over their knee or something. And Nate Smith, who lived right around the corner from me, he was also known as like the neighborhood clown. He used to prank people all the time. He used to go like doorbell dish people, and he used to just prank people all the time. He was really known for that. He skated in my house, knocked on the door. My mom answered the door, and he said, "Adam broke his arm really bad. He's down the street." And my mom didn't believe him because, he's a clown. He was like, "I think you're lying to me. It's April Fool's Day." He's like, "No, I'm not." And she like closed the door in his face. Yeah. And then I eventually, I picked up my board. Brian got my board, and I picked up my arm like this, and, was holding it, and I walked home, block away, Yeah, that was crazy. That was really, really crazy. In and out of cast and surgery for 9 months. And then the next year, I broke this hand on Donald's half pipe.
That's right. I remember
Donald's
that.
half pipe. And Shanti drove me to the emergency room for that.
Yep, I remember being there.
Yeah.
Who was it? It was me, you, and Shanti, and somebody like Berto or somebody.
Yeah.
Was it Berto?
Berto.
I think Berto was there.
Yeah, Berto.
That's right.
Berto.
You remember Berto?
Yeah. I went up and I did a backside air to slide.
That's right.
And I landed it, but then I lost my footing at the last, before I came back in again, and fell into the middle of the ramp like this, and crunch, and it broke my arm. But I didn't have to have surgery for that. The guy put it back together. I put a leather bit in my mouth. He said, "Okay, we're going to fix this right now." And he went, "Rap!" And just put it back together, and put a cast on me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had so many injuries. concussions, 2 broken arms, messed up knee, hyperextended knee, hip stuff, man, shoulder. Yeah.
Did you ever skate with Tom Richards?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, of course, he's part of that core group. Tom
Yeah.
was. There's so many. Nate Smith is part of that too. So Nate, Tom, Atif, Matt Wanderer, John Kennedy. Yeah. They're all part of that core group, right? Tom Richards. I've known Tom for a long, long time. Met him early on.
Have you seen him at all lately?
No, I haven't actually. I think he's out in the Bay Area or something. I haven't. I talked to him very, very briefly. I think years ago, but I haven't seen him in a long, long time. Or Nate either, for that matter. I know Nate's still probably in the Bay Area. I think.